So we're here today with Dr. Josef Schuler, Master of Wine. Dr. Schuler, thank you very much for having us and extending your hospitality here in the Wine Academy in Rust, Austria. I guess my first question is, a lot of industry professionals, we really look up to a Master of Wine because it is really the highest level of expertise in the field. Tell me, what did it take for you to become a Master of Wine?
Well, for myself, actually, and everybody has got a different reason why you want to become Master of Wine. For myself, it was so that I had already this job here at Austrian Wine Academy. I was already founding director of Austrian Wine Academy, offering courses with a partner in London, the Wine Spirit Education Trust, leading towards the Master of Wine exam. And when we had the first graduates in 1994, people said, "What's now?" Well, I said, "Well, it's Master of Wine." And what that like? So I told them what I knew. But I also enrolled in the first course in Europe then, in 1994, to find out what it's really like to be able to tell our students. And so I got involved in the course, and this led me then to also sit the exams, eventually then pass the exam and become Master of Wine and become a member of this incredible network of wine professionals around the globe, which of course is the most exciting thing about this qualification.
This might seem like a strange question, given that you've achieved one of the highest qualification in wine, but how do you continue to learn about wine? Because the world of wine is changing, I think.
Yes, probably many Masters of Wine would tell you the same thing, that it is in many respects more challenging of being a Master of Wine than becoming, because once you are, the expectations are very high. So many people say, "Oh, he's Master of Wine, he knows about everything." Of course we don't. And there is Masters of Wine who are specialists in their field, but still in general I think one of the strengths of the Master of Wine qualification is that we do have a quite sound knowledge, more or less all round, sort of jack of all trades, so kind of guys. With, of course, many people having their special knowledge and interests. I'm sort of away in a fortunate situation that I'm sort of as a full-time educator here at the Wine Academy. So it's from more or less every day that we develop wine educational programs, seminars, updates, continual professional education for our students, for our graduates. So being involved in that, you learn from your students, of course, all the time.
That's an interesting aspect.
Yes, and an exciting one, you know. Yeah. And I think it's good that also students at a very early stage realize, well, you know, those are not the gods there who know everything, but they just sort of have their sort of disciplined approach in studying hard and working sort of in a structured way to pass this exam. But there's no way that somebody can know everything about wine. And there's fun and joy in wine, and we must never forget that.
Now you're a Master of Wine.
Yep.
This is the highest, you've passed the highest exam in the wine world. How has this experience been in helping you in your career in wine distribution and marketing?
Well, I think the MW qualification is a signal that well, hopefully that you know what you're talking about, but that you're a serious wine professional. You know, you can't really pass it without knowing your stuff, and I think therefore it's an internationally renowned kind of signal of the fact that you're a qualified, serious professional within the industry. So you know, it provides it opens doors, certainly. It provides a framework within which to pursue your career, but not just in the kind of marketing and the commercial side of it, but also in tastings. And you know, when I talk to customers or to the press, then you know, I suppose it adds a certain gravitas to my credentials. But beyond that, it's a great thing to do because you meet a lot of fantastic people on the course and other MWs around the world, they generally tend to be a great bunch of people who are all passionate about wine, and we have to be passionate about wine because one of the key things about the qualification is that sure how Côte Rôtie is made, but equally you have to be able to communicate that knowledge and that passion in a way which other people either within or outside the trade, but who are equally interested in wine, in a way that they can understand and that they can then hopefully become engaged with the category in the same way.
You're a Master of Wine, so you've already attained the highest accreditation in the wine industry. But how do you continue to learn about wine? Because wine is constantly evolving.
Yes.
So what's your strategy for always remaining fresh and up to date?
I have a lot to do with the Institute, so I'm still quite involved in the educational side, and I was an examiner for a number of years as well, so that helps you to keep your knowledge up to date. The Institute is also a fantastic establishment where you have a lot of contact with other people, and it's just this curiosity. Wine is a dynamic world. It's a fascinating world. There's always new things happening, and just talking to other people, being at fairs like Provine, you meet new people, establish new contacts, and it's just a very exciting, dynamic world. And keeping this interest and wanting to be educated, wanting to learn more.
Okay. And perhaps a final question: if I was a young person having finished my training or my qualifications and I'm entering the wine industry, what would you suggest as a key to sort of succeeding in this industry?
I think it's the same as advice that I would give to an importer, which is basically work hard, be interested, try to make people understand that you really are fascinated by this world of wine, show your enthusiasm. There are so many times when you meet with new people and they just don't have an enthusiasm, but it's this enthusiasm that will carry you through. And I think that's probably the most important thing.
Alison, thank you so much for sharing your time with us here at ProWine, and we look forward to seeing you again soon.
Thank you.